Kenyans have over the years had doubts about the oil and gas industry. While some say it's a blessing, others think it's a curse. But all that may change soon thanks to the formation of the African Parliamentarians Network Against Corruption. This organization has been mandated to check the utilization of monies accrued from the production and sale of crude oil.
That's why Section 20, Parliament may by a vote of 2/3 of members of Parliament at intervals of 15 years from the date of commencement of this review, so that this will strengthen that position if even we still want to retain it. The Ghana Petroleum Fund shall both receive from the Petroleum Holding Fund petroleum revenue in excess of the annual budget funding amount. This is not very specific. So we are proposing an amendment to this very provision. And this is what we are saying. 11.2. The Ghana Petroleum Fund shall receive from the Petroleum Holding Fund petroleum revenue which shall not be less than 30% of the benchmark revenue. And then the word excess is subject to misinterpretation, even though it should not. Because if you go to 18.1, it's very clear there. It states that the annual budget funding amount up to 70% of benchmark revenue, so it could be less than 70%, and whatever percentage is granted to the annual budget funding amount, anything extra goes into the Ghana Petroleum Fund. So if we modify it, then it's very specific, so that there's no room for too much discretion. That's on transfer from the Ghana Stabilization Fund. We are also giving a caution there. And that transfer out of the Ghana Stabilization Fund shall be done for purposes of alleviating shortfalls in actual petroleum revenue in accordance with subsections 1, 2, 3, and 4. So subsection 1, 2, 3, and 4 specifies the grounds on which the monies can be transferred, and then one that they should be kept to strictly. And then when we come to Section 16, we are suggesting that that section should be modified. I think Section 16 is on disbursements. Because earlier on, as Section 7, I think so, we suggested that a portion of that section should be transferred to 16 because of disbursements. So there's the need for us to recapture the whole Section 16 and reword it as we make the two together. And so Section 16 will read as modified. 16.1. Disbursement from the Petroleum Holding Fund shall be made only to the consolidated fund in support of the national budget. And then B, to the Ghana Petroleum Funds for purposes of savings and investments, that's disbursements, to the National Oil Company and for exceptional reductions according to provisions in this Act.
Your company. Now, head of the Political Science Department of the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology says that several industrial disputes in the country is indicative government is losing its credibility. This Dr. Richard Amakuba believes is because government has not been very open with the workers. Dr. Amakuba, however, says government got it right with a decision to sue the 12 striking labor unions. A report from the Ashanti region by Mahmoud Mohamed Noordi.
According to the head of the Political Science Department, government has failed to properly handle the grievances of public workers over a period of time. This, he says, has created a vacuum for workers who have taken the law into their own hands to compel the government to take action.
It is an affirmation that they have exhausted the polite way of doing things, the right way, the legal ways of doing things, and they feel that there's only recourse left for them is to go on strike, is to engage in this civil disobedience, right, to get attention from the government. And any time citizens do that, it means they don't have faith in their government. Otherwise, they will go through the established channels, through the laws and all of that. But when they take the law into their own hands, which is, in a way, this is what it is, when they go on strike like that, then it means that they don't trust their own government, they don't think that the government can give them justice, and so they'll do their own thing to force the government into action.
Dr. Amakoba is urging government to open up to the workers and tell them the whole truth. 12 labor unions, including teachers' unions and the Ghana Medical Association, are currently on an indefinite strike over their Tier 2 pension contributions, leaving students out of class and patients unattended to at the medical facilities over the past 5 days.
Come clean it. I mean, look, this is a government of the people, by the people, for the people. That is what democracy is. Whatever the government is doing is supposed to be for the people. So if the government did something wrong, for example, and it didn't work, tell the people it didn't work. Now we're going to do something else. Right? They do it like that. Of course, then they trust you. They trust what you are doing.
A report by Mahmoud Mohammed and Nuruddin.
Producer price index for September 2014 was 46.7%. This figure is lower than for August 2014, which was 48.3%.
Well, the PPI for September 2014 recorded 46.7%, and this was slightly lower than the figure for August 2014, which was 48.3%. All that this implies is that if you compare prices, that's ex-factory prices, in 2013, September 2013 to September 2014, the September 2014 figure was 46.7%, that of the September 2013 figure. You would expect that if the producer price is going down, some items in the non-food basket would have their prices coming down. But you also have the food basket, which drives the consumer price index down. So the non-food might go up, but the food component, as you know, the harvest season is still there, and so the food component will still drive it down.
Stakeholders at the Africa Center for Energy Policy meeting in Accra have raised doubts about how government will meet the considerations or conditions set out in the second Millennium Challenge Compact signed between government and the Millennium Challenge Corporation of the United States of America. Government under the compact is expected to settle all its outstanding debts to the Electricity Company of Ghana, among others, before it can access the $498.2 million from the U.S. government to transform the power sector.
If ECG tells you the capital investments they need, billions of dollars, not cedis, billions of dollars, how do you get that money? The government certainly doesn't have the money. Where else are you going to get the money? It has to be the private sector. If they say that I want to maybe handle Accra East, and I'm going to put my money in there, how am I going to get my money back? I sell electricity, I get the money back. Okay, so to keep the system running, there has to be a return on my investment, because I'm not a Father Christmas.
The stakeholders meeting also addressed some pertinent issues in the management of the country's energy sector. Officials were of the opinion government must develop and implement an energy policy that will make it a requirement for Ghanaians to use energy-saving appliances to save electricity. Director of the Kumasi Institute of Technology and Environment, KITE, Ishmael Ejikum-Kine, who presented a paper on the Millennium Challenge Compact Agreement between government and the Millennium Challenge Corporation of the United States of America, says government must involve the private sector to meet the requirements in the contract.
We used to have concessionary credit from the World Bank, sometimes 3%, sometimes 5%. And there's a moratorium for about 5 years before you start paying. That's how we built our power sector. Now the World Bank is not giving us that kind of money because they say we are a lower middle income. That's how come we go into the capital market and borrowing at 8%. Dollar-denominated loans at 8% is killing. the private sector will come in, but so you free government to focus on maybe the basic thing that the private sector is not interested in.
Chief Executive of the Bui Hydropower Authority, Jabesi Mr. Arthur, is however confident government will meet the requirements in the contract to access the compact.
There are many agencies that have to play their role in order to meeting the conditionalities, and our expectation is that each of us, the agencies, will play our role and meet what we have to do, because all the things that have to be done have been discussed with the agencies and the representative of the agencies, and we are collectively confident that they are good things to do, so that's why they are in there.
Stakeholders later called on Ghanaians to conserve energy for future use.
Away from business, Divine Mother and Child Foundation, a non-profit governmental organization in collaboration with Inform Ghana, also an NGO, has launched a new project dubbed Maternal and Child Health Promotion at Koforidua in the Eastern region. The project is to mobilize community action towards promoting maternal and child health, as well as reduce maternal and infant mortality rates in 10 selected deprived districts and municipalities in the area.
The 10 selected municipalities and districts to benefit from the mobile outreach services on maternal and child health promotion include New Joabing, Esojaman, Ukrapum North, Suhum, Upper Manyakrobo, Lower Manyakrobo, Kwabe Brim, Echimansa, Ayenswano, and Brim Central. Speaking at the launch, the Deputy Eastern Regional Minister, Mavis Amafrimpong, said Ghana has made some gains towards the attainment of Millennium Development Goals 4 and 5, which seek to improve maternal health and reduce maternal deaths by the year 2015, noting that government is committed to providing access to quality health care delivery.
I must accept, though, that we have made some gains towards the attainment of these two goals, but we still haven't gotten there yet. 2015 is just at the corner, and September 2015, the world all over is going to sit again and review where we are. If Ghana government and partners, politicians, Christians, churches, Muslim councils, communities, media practitioners, and everybody is going to sit to review Ghana's successes.
President of the Divine Mother and Child Foundation, Edmund Dodu, explained the project is to reduce maternal and child mortality rates through education and give support for the training of traditional birth attendants. He appealed to government to build more CHIPS compounds with well-equipped medical supplies and post more nurses and midwives to deprived communities across the country. The MPP Member of Parliament for the Akimoda constituency, William Ejapon Kweto, talked about
Next is sports here with Baba Tando Tongowe. Now, Zambia's fifth president, Michael Sata, has died in London, where he had been undergoing treatment for an undisclosed illness. He was 77. He has rarely been seen in public since returning from the UN General Assembly last month, where he failed to make a scheduled speech. Sata became president in September 2011, defeating then incumbent Rapaya Banda, whose party had been in power for 20 years. During his 3-year term, he promised to wipe out corruption and hold foreign investors in check. Earlier this month, reports in Zambia said President Sata had gone abroad for a medical checkup amid persistent speculation that he was seriously ill. After he left the country, Defense Minister Edgar Lungu was named as acting president. Now, Vice President Guy Scott has been confirmed president for Zambia. Francesca Firi Banda is Zambian journalist. She's joined me over the telephone to bring us up to speed what's happening in Zambia. Francisca, thank you very much for joining us here.
Thank you for having me.
So finally, President Scott sits in after the death of Sata. Tell us the reaction to that from the people of Zambia.